I'm obviously very happy with the outcome of the case, and it looks like I'm not having to retire from my day job after all. But at the same time, I'm unbelievably frustrated that baseless claims like this are allowed to go to court at all.
British pop star Ed Sheeran expressed frustration Thursday, even after a jury in Manhattan federal court determined that Sheeran did not unlawfully copy from Marvin Gaye's classic song Let's Get It On. Sheeran told reporters the 4 chords in the song that were the focus of the case are, quote, common building blocks for musicians, and everyone should be able to use them to create new music.
No one owns them, all the way they are played, in the same way that nobody owns the colour blue. It's devastating to be accused of stealing someone else's song when we put so much work into our livelihoods.
Heirs of Let's Get It On songwriter Ed Townsend had sued Sheeran for copyright infringement in 2017. They argued that Sheeran's song Thinking Out Loud copied the melody, harmony, and rhythm of Gaye's Billboard chart hit, basically the heart of the song. Sheeran, on the witness stand, had played the chord progression to Thinking Out Loud and sang the opening words. He also testified that his friend Amy Wadge first started strumming the chords for the song during a visit to his home in England, and that they collaborated on the lyrics. The not guilty verdict came after 6 days of trial and less than 3 hours of deliberations.
I'm just a guy with a guitar who loves writing music for people to enjoy. I am not and will never allow myself to be a piggy bank for anyone to shake. Thanks, guys. Congrats.
But 2 similar lawsuits are still pending against Sheeran in Manhattan involving copyright interests in Marvin Gaye's song.
Ed, how do you feel?
Congratulations, Ed. How you doing, guys? You all right? I'm obviously very happy with the outcome of the case, and it looks like I'm not having to retire from my day job after all. But at the same time, I'm unbelievably frustrated that baseless claims like this are allowed to go to court at all. We've spent the last 8 years talking about 2 songs with dramatically different lyrics, melodies, and 4 chords which are also different and used by songwriters every day all over the world. These chords are common building blocks which were used to create music long before Let's Get It On was written, and will be used to make music long after we are all gone. They are in a songwriter's alphabet, our toolkit, and should be there for all of us to use. No one owns them, all the way they are played, in the same way that nobody owns the colour blue. Unfortunately, unfounded claims like this are being fueled by individuals who are offered as music experts in musical analysis. In this instant, the other side's musicologists left out words and notes, presented simple and different pitches as melody, and by doing so, created what I think we proved for all to see were misleading comparisons and disinformation to find supposed similarities where none exist. And I think we proved for all to see that they tried to manipulate my and Amy's song to try and convince the jury that they had a genuine claim. I'm very grateful that the jury saw through those attempts. This seems so dangerous to me, both potential claimants who may be convinced to bring a bogus claim, as well as those songwriters facing them. It's simply wrong. By stopping this practice, we can also properly support genuine music copyright claims so legitimate claims are rightly heard and resolved. If the jury had decided this matter the other way, we might as well say goodbye to the creative freedom of songwriters. We need to be able to write our original music and engage in independent creation without worrying at every step of the way that such creativity will be wrongly called into question. Like artists everywhere, Amy and I work hard to independently create songs which are often based around real-life personal experience. It's devastating to be accused of stealing someone else's song when we've put so much work into our livelihoods. I'm just a guy with a guitar who loves writing music for people to enjoy. I am not and will never allow myself to be a piggy bank for anyone to shake. Having to be in New York for this trial has meant that I've missed being with my family at my grandmother's funeral in Ireland, and I will never get that time back. These trials take a significant toll on everyone involved, including Catherine. I want to thank the jury for making the decision that will help protect the creative process of songwriters here in the United States and all around the world. I also want to thank my team, these guys, who've supported me throughout this difficult process, and to all the songwriters, musicians and fans who've reached out with messages of support over the last few weeks. And finally, I would like to thank Amy. Neither of us ever expected that 9 years ago, from our wonderful writing session, that we will be here having to defend our integrity. Amy, I feel so lucky to have you in my life. Thank you. We need songwriters and the wider community to come together and bring back common sense. These claims need to be stopped so the creative process can carry on and we can all go back to making music. And at the same time, we absolutely need trusted individuals, real experts, who help support the process of protecting copyright. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Congrats, Ed.
Ed Sheeran's US copyright trial is reaching its final chapter. Closing arguments were delivered in a Manhattan court on Wednesday, and the jury is due to start deliberating on Thursday. The British singer-songwriter is accused of plagiarizing Marvin Gaye's song Let's Get It On in his 2014 hit Thinking Out Loud. The family of Gaye's co-writer Ed Townsend are suing Sheeran and his record label.
We're here to defend my father's legacy and intellectual properties.
Sheeran's lawyer told the jurors that similarities in the chord progressions and rhythms of the two songs were, quote, the letters of the alphabet of music. She added, these are basic musical building blocks that songwriters now and forever must be free to use. Lawyers for Townsend's heirs argued their clients were not claiming to own basic musical elements, but the way in which they were uniquely combined. They displayed a video of Sheeran transitioning seamlessly between the two songs in a live performance, which they argued amounted to a confession. Sheeran and his co-writer Amy Wadge both testified during the week-long trial. He called the claims against him insulting and said that he only had passing familiarity with Gaye's song. Sheeran played guitar and sang from the witness stand to underscore his testimony, telling jurors his song Thinking Out Loud had actually been inspired by Irish musician Van Morrison.